encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Oh, do I now? I hope. I mean, you laugh after the face. What do you laugh at? I don't want to get used to it. Well, it is a clown show, according to the man sleeping in the bar, like an Eskimo, sleeping in a moment there. You saw it. You watched it. It happened in real time. Yeah, and all that. Anyway, it is. Good morning, folks. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Canada, my favorite country in the whole world, where people actually listen just to hear me say the date. Maybe I should say the date at the end of the show. Hold them there, because I know that as soon as I say the date, they're off to actually, because they can't live without that date, man. Today is Friday, your favorite day of the week, right? Or I actually like Saturday better, but Friday, December 1st, new month, 2023. Okay, there you have it. We'll see you tomorrow. Apparently, Linda O from Alberta likes that I made fun of her yesterday. I didn't even know I was making fun of her. She says she finds it cute that I had a compulsion to give the date every day at the top of the show. I didn't even know who I was making fun of. I just thought it was really weird that people care about me giving the date, and I missed it once, and I don't know how I missed it. I guess I didn't have my coffee or whatever. I was anyway. Jordan Peterson invaded me, possessed me, and I forgot the date a couple of days ago. Forgot to mention what day of the week it was and what date it was. The reason I do that is so that it gives it some kind of form of reference to something just happened. Somebody named Moni just tried to pop in, and it didn't work. I think they saw their name was Moni. Might be their phone sex or whatever. I don't know. OnlyFans handle or something. But it didn't work out. And I'm wondering who actually has the keys to get in the building with the name Moni. And they probably noticed they were Moni and said, no, I can't go on as Moni. Then people will know that I'm the OnlyFans creepy guy. I better change my name to something more appropriate. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. So I just put the date and day. Yeah, that's what happened, folks. Get out of my room. We'll let them back in a minute. I only put the day and date on there as a timestamp, so to reference when I'm looking back at stuff, I understand what was going on, what the time frame was, because you do this for a number of years, and then you find some content and you say, what the hell was I talking about that for? Well, you can go back and check the date and see why you were talking about that. So that's the deal. And I try not to, I will try not to screw that up again. We have an interesting show for you today. We're going to have Jerry Irby, who is headlining tonight in Brookings, South Dakota. And then later on, we have Morgan Linson, who's going to be talking about how to travel for free. You want to know how to travel for free, and obviously the contest for vacations and stuff that we had going on didn't work out so well. It went over just about as well as Mind Dog Coffee has been going over. By the way, Mind Dog Coffee, go shit. I think that's what he says. Go shit. Anyway, I did hear from both our no-show guests yesterday. The love languages guy is in mountain time, and even though it was his second screw up in a row, he wants to try again. Now, I have not confirmed him. I'm leaning towards having him on, but totally being a dick to him. I don't know. Three times is a charm, I guess. He wants to try again. But if he screws me up one more time, I'm going to treat him like Sam Cart and write him angry emails. And you know I can write angry emails. So I haven't confirmed that yet, though. I'm thinking about it. You know, if you want to give me some input, should I have the love languages guy on and be a colossal dick to him? Yes or no? Put that in the chat room. Give me a yes, give me a no, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, give me a middle finger, give me a colostomy bag. Anyway, the other guy, who's the other guy? The death guy. Apparently, his publicist screwed up. So, no harm, no foul on him. Lindsay, my friend, who's his publicist, we have a good relationship, and I don't want to be derogatory towards her. It was a simple screw up. Shit happens. I could have done it. This time she did it. No big deal. So we're going to have him on. He'll be on Thursday of next week. And I was interested in talking about the death stuff. I still am. I've been thinking about it a lot. And yesterday I had my old man gay date with Surfer Phil. Went to lunch with Surfer Phil and basically talking about all our friends that are dead. But Phil says, you know, he's that whole xenology or kumbaya-ness that you're just energy, man, and it all goes somewhere. You know how much energy we are? You know that those tiny little bulbs on a Christmas tree, the tiniest ones that you can get, a little speck of a bulb, and they pop on and they pop off. That's how much energy we are in the face of the universe. We're nothing. That energy just dissipates and in my view, goes out into nothingness, becomes, you know, floating ether of wasted energy. I'm a downer, I know, but I don't think anything goes on after you die. I think it's Tony Soprano, A Fade to Black. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. And we'll talk about that next week when he's here. But maybe it gives you some perspective to because you folks don't pay attention to things like the James Webb Telescope that is seeing the universe back 93 billion years before the Big Bang or whatever it is. 93 billion years before the 13.5 billion year old Big Bang. And the vastness of the universe, you are nothing. Think of the tiniest speck of dust somewhere in the house, in another room, in a corner of another room. That doesn't begin to give you perspective on how little you are in the realm of the universe. We're nothing. So when you're gone, you're gone. That's my take on it, and I'm sure Willie will argue with me about that. A couple other things before we get to the insanity and let the gentleman in. Yesterday, you know, Willie was on. He was not happy with Gail King, to say the least. And so I put out two reels. One, just me talking about the eye syphilis thing, and I titled that "Eye Syphilis Pops Up in Mysterious Eye Syphilis Pops Up in Michigan," and that reel was out for 5 hours and had 2 views on it. 2 views, two, in 5 hours. 2 views in 5 hours. I changed the title to "If Your Radio Sounds Stupid," and within 1 minute, it had 399 views on it. What does that say about the YouTube algorithm? The mysterious eye syphilis pops up in Michigan. You would think people would say, "Hey, wait, especially if you're in Michigan." And I think Jerry Irby is from Detroit. He should probably care about what's going on in Michigan with the fucking eye perverts sticking their eyes in people's vaginas and getting eye syphilis or whatever they're doing. Anyway, that reel got 2 until I changed it to "If your radio sounds stupid," and it got it. Willie's reel about Gayle King got 399, same number, within 1 minute of launching. It said Willie has Willie has a problem with Gayle King, something like that is the title. Titles make a difference, obviously. Categories, keywords, all that kind of stuff. Still trying to figure out the YouTube algorithm. Doesn't make any sense, but we'll talk about them in a minute. Speaking of eye syphilis, Willie's here. He was,
there's something. What the?
Tony,
Oh wait, no, it's fine. It's
you're making fun of people with venereal disease now, right?
Yeah, is it still venereal disease if it's in your eye?
Yeah. Well, maybe that was the problem because I changed all the keywords too. Because the keywords were I had SDIs as STDs, SDIs.
Right.
It's crazy. No wonder it didn't get any. No STDs. Good morning, GD.
Good morning. Mine dog coffee. I don't always drink coffee, but when I do, it's a moving experience. Mine dog coffee.
Yeah.
I wonder how much.
So much better. I like that so much better.
I wonder how much longer he's going to be able to run with that, though.
On, Matt?
What? Oh, you like my sweater?
Well, okay. Well, I'll say this. I do. Okay, I like your sweater because it makes you look like happier and like a brighter. Like people might actually talk to you in public today with you wearing that sweater.
You know what's really funny? You think I go out in public?
Right.
No, I never. I don't. Yesterday was with gay surfer Phil on my gay old man date, but we were hiding in a booth in the back because that's what gay old men do.
Is this the sweater he gave you? Because it looks like it might have been.
No, but that was my time out in public. That's what I'm saying. I've had this. Kelly has commented on the sweater before. She, I think this makes her flick the bean. But then again, so does a rock on the side of the street make her flick the bean. So,
I mean,
yeah, just about anything. The wind blows. Oh wait, it's got to flick the bean. So yeah, people reacting to your Gayle King thing. No surprise there, but it's just baffling how one video off the same reel will just jump really quick, and the other one 5 hours, 2 views. It's baffling.
I experienced that with the remember when I did those helicopter reels a while back? Because I did different songs on the background for those, and like significant difference on some of the because like the one, like I think the first one I put out, I think it was, I can't remember what song I put out. It was a Creedence Clearwater revival, Fortunate Son. I did Fortunate Son with the first video, and it got about like 1,500 or whatever in the first couple days. But then I
Man, Twitter's looking good today, right?
But then I redid it, and I did Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix, and it went almost to 5,000 almost in the first day.
Yeah.
I have a question real quick before we get to. I did a critical joke theory last night. I didn't know if there's going to be time today because we have like 4 guests and 16.
4 guests? We have 2 guests.
Well, there's a Jerry, right? Jerry. Then there's Irby.
Jerry.
Are they the same? They're 2 different people, right?
Yeah,
Jerry and Irby
is one person.
Jerry Irby.
I thought they were a comedy team, like Jerry and Martin, Jerry and Dean. It's Jerry and Irby, right? They're not a comedy team.
He's coming to your house to kick your ass right now. I want you to know that.
You know something? I'm not worried about that because he's black. In my neighborhood, there's only 2 blacks allowed, and we've hit our quota. So he will be stopped at the top of the street.
Wow.
Wow.
Got to get racial every day. Every day we got to be racist every single day of the week. It's like,
Mr. Black Screens Don't Matter is going to talk to me about race.
did I say that? I love black screens. I love all black screens. I just think that all screens matter. That's all I just want to say. But anyway, no, Jerry Irby is one guy, and then Morgan Linson.
Again, I thought they were a traveling team. I thought they were a duo.
No,
my bad. That's why I thought we had 4 guests.
Not everybody puts their split personality on stage.
So yeah, you can run Critical Joke Theory when it's time for me to get more coffee to prime me for shit right after the show. So somewhere around the middle of the show, we go Critical Joke Theory. I will go get fresh coffee. By the time we end the show, I'll be ready to just move them bowels. Move them bowels.
Got it. Cool.
Wow. Now, I want you guys to give me some advice here. Would you give this guy a third shot, Mr. Love Languages?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
he fucked me twice.
But I'd make him pay. I would make
that's
absolute. We did talk about a rebooking fee. You remember that? You talked.
Oh no, not a rebooking fee. That's not. I'm talking about serious pay. I mean, he has to deal with, let's say, Willie and Jackie, or Willie and you know.
You know what? I know what you mean by that, and that's rude.
We'll be there, but we won't say a word. We'll just sit there. You can look at Twitter. You can look at Matt. You can look at Twitter, and I will Google myself.
The guy comes on to promote his little love language game, and all he hears about is one testicle, unitesticle. He's a unitesticle.
And jokes. The man would say, like, I have a love language, and Jack is like, I got a joke about love languages. But first, let me tell you the history of the joke of the love language.
Let me tell you, Jackie's got a 1963 Fender Strat that he bought off the shelf from Sam Ash in 1963. He just and he still got it, and it's still in mint condition because he posted a picture of him playing it in 1971, and I asked on Twitter. I asked him if he still got that Strat, and then he posted a picture of it, and it's still in mint condition. 1963 Strat. That thing's got to be worth I don't know, $50,000. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but somewhere up $30,000 probably.
At least $49,900.
All right. Wow. You want Jerry Irby is missing right now. His camera's on, but he's running up to the screen right now. He must have heard me say his name. Jerry Irby is a man who needs no description because we don't really have a good description other than he's headlining at the Comedy Room. Is it the Comedy Room? Comedy Room in Brookings, South Dakota tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Willie's friend, Jerry Irby. To Coffee
Willie's friend, Jerry Irby. I am one person, not a team.
Right. Wow. Are you familiar with Bobby McFerrin?
I am not.
Wow. Because you should look him up, man. But you be careful because it could put you in a time warp or some kind of space-time continuum thing. You look exactly like him.
I'll hold off on saying thank you then, I guess.
No, he's a really cool musician, singer, songwriter.
Percussionist, great percussionist.
Yeah, and also, don't worry, be happy. That's who.
Yes.
Is that who sings that?
That's Bobby.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I worked with Robin Williams on that. So anyway, Brookings. Now this place, the Comedy Room that you're in tonight, it's Wooden Legs Brewings. It's a brewery, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's a brewery in Brookings, South Dakota.
Affiliated with real estate companies?
You know, I'm not entirely sure how. But yeah. I don't know.
Wow.
I was gonna find out tonight or tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, it's tonight. Don't go tomorrow. Oh, tonight and tomorrow. Okay, so you got a weekend there. Yeah. So yeah, you know, it's an interesting thing to see like real estate companies on, you know, a banner for a comedy show. Anyway,
isn't that the one that Sean Jordan books?
You got some.
Sean Leary.
Oh, you guys in the same room?
We are in the same
room.
Wow, that's why we got echo.
I know. I was trying to figure out how to fix that.
Uh, I don't think you have to fix it. You can just mute yourself and talk loud, and we'll hear you through his. Try that.
Yeah, all right.
So I finally figured out how to get Conway to mute himself.
Yes. At least he's not like today.
I know, right?
I got some comments on that. People were saying my impersonation of RFQ was dead on. So maybe I'll do that.
You have a second career.
Yeah, Jerry, say Detroit for me, or the city name that's in
Detroit?
Michigan. Yeah. Now Willie says it. Yeah. Well, you just said it. Willie says Detroit. Is that common?
Some people do. Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah, some people
Yeah, we know people do, but what about Willie?
He does a lot of things different.
I do a lot of things different. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Well, I think we're gonna probably have to mute you because you're like somehow.
I did mute myself.
You did? Oh, so that's what we. Wait, try talking now. Unmute yourself for a second.
Hold on. This might help.
Yeah, because we're not really hearing you. Oh, technical problem. We apologize for this. People out in America and Canada, my favorite country.
We'll do the colored commentary right now. The other black guy is messing things up for all of us.
No, it's Willie.
No,
it's the other white guy.
The other white meat.
Yeah. Do you refer to everybody who other than yourself as the other black guy?
That's a good question. It depends on where I am.
Wow. So you think of you're the main one and anybody else is the other one? That's the
only in my world.
That's messed up, dude. That's messed up.
It's fine.
Only in my world.
You gotta get some humility, man. Humility.
I have plenty of humility. Can't
so
you smell it?
Oh, so you're sending Jerry out into another room? Is that the deal?
Well, he just went out there.
All right.
Trying to send him to the back of the house. That is so.
If that echo helps.
What do you got? A plant? Oh no, the house just has lots of plants in it.
I try.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks. Thanks for going out of your way to try to resolve Willie's audio problems. So tell me about how you got out of Detroit. Did you take a midnight train going anywhere and just end up in South Dakota somewhere?
I mean, long story short, yeah. That's a less cool but shorter story. But military was how I left Detroit. I joined the Air Force like maybe 6 months after graduating high school. Ow.
Wow.
And afterwards bounced around a few bases, ended up in Rapid City, which is like on the western side of South Dakota.
Wow.
And yeah, once I got out, I kind of stuck around here.
And you plan on staying in South Dakota?
Nah, probably not. That was a long time ago, and I've been saying that for a while now. It's just a matter of not really knowing.
It's like a maze you can't get out of. Once you get into South Dakota, there's no way out. Or I don't know. Maybe it's like purgatory. Maybe it's a vortex
to
like hell.
Purgatory. Yeah, there's not enough here to be a maze. You know what I mean? You see everything, but it is.
Oh no, they put roundabouts in random intersections, so it is kind of turning into.
That's how they keep people here.
That's interesting. Roundabouts in the middle of nowhere for no reason at all.
Yeah, like on side streets, bro.
That was the original title for the Yes song. That was Yes's original title for that. Roundabout in the middle of nowhere for no reason at all. They had to shorten it.
A little too long.
They had to shorten it to get it on AM radio.
Yeah, or even to get it on the album, fit it on the album cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there a plan now? Do you have a plan for traveling? Because comedy. Listen, there's only so many comedy rooms at real estate companies in South Dakota that you can headline in. Do you plan on traveling at all for your career, or?
I do. I've been
to North Dakota, right? You've been in North Dakota.
I've been in North Dakota for sure.
So you've hit both of those clubs in North Dakota.
Yeah, been in North Dakota, been in Minnesota, all the states that touch South Dakota for sure. Been in Arkansas, been in Michigan, obviously.
Is this consensual touch, or is South Dakota just raping these other states?
South Dakota.
I mean, it depends on how old they are on what that technically counts as.
Okay, I'm just checking because I'm not from these parts, those parts.
How long you known Willie for?
About since 2020, before pandemic. I met him when I started doing comedy.
Right. Now, when you have a conversation with him, do you ever get to say anything?
Yeah. You gotta just force your way in. He'll take a breath eventually, and then you gotta just right there. You got your spot, and you gotta go for it.
Interesting. We don't have that opportunity. We don't have that luxury here doing it remote. Maybe I could hook up some kind of like stinger or something, shock him through the internet or some kind of.
Well, try this. Hey,
and also,
Willie,
give him food, give him something to eat, and then he'll have something to do.
That's true.
And that's when you gotta figure people out. You gotta figure out how to work with people.
Yeah. Have you guys?
Way better than some of the other people who just put their dick in my face.
Yeah. Whoa.
Rude, right? I was there.
I don't think we're ready for that yet. But... Maybe in the second hour. Maybe when in the second hour when we're talking about how to travel for free, that might come up as an appropriate method of free travel.
Right. How to travel for free. Use your mouth.
Have you guys worked together?
We've done a few shows together, man.
Who's the headliner?
Who was the headliner? I don't think was either one of our shows. There was that one.
Well, I was hosting, so you featured. Didn't you feature when we did the dope show with Preston?
Yeah, that was a feature. I was thinking of another one that
The Bosses Goes Boozless, but I hosted that as well. But I also hosted and produced both those shows. Usually when I produce a show, I host it instead of headlining, and then I bring in other people. But I love bringing in people like Jerry, because Jerry's awesome. Jerry here is a 4-time winner of the Larry Brinkman Award.
Of the what award?
Yeah, it's only impressive if they know what it is.
Comedy Award here in Sioux Falls.
Ah, and what's the significance of the award?
It's when you win the monthly competition. If you win the monthly competition, and then I mean.
No, well, the namesake and all that kind of.
Why you got to diminish?
I'm not diminishing it. I want to understand it. I want to understand the value of it.
Right? Who's Larry Brinkman? First of all, why is it named after him?
Oh my God!
That's exactly what I meant by the significance of the award.
So,
I mean, if it was the
Jerry, wait a minute. I'm sorry, Jerry. Do you know this story? Because you could probably tell it in like 400 less words.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, actually, I don't know it well enough to tell it. I've only heard it, like, I never met Larry, but a lot of people that were around longer than I have.
Wait a minute, you've won the award 3 times, you don't know anything about it?
Won it 4 times.
4 times.
That's even worse. That is 33% worse.
No, that's 45%. Think about it. Larry was a comedian that was around here in Sioux Falls that passed
I don't
away.
even think he was a comic. I think he was just a fan that always came to shows.
Skylar told me he used to phone. Was he just a fan and he'd call in to listen?
Yeah, he would. He was just a fan.
We'll ask Morgan.
He would go to all the shows and he would fall asleep. He was the sleeping crowd member at like countless open mics in Sioux Falls. And then he passed away. And after he passed away, in honor of him, they named the comedy award, the monthly comedy award, they named it after Larry.
Interesting. See, now that's a good thing. See, that fact that I asked about that, we wouldn't know that really amusing and lighthearted anecdote about Larry had I not asked that question. So... See, this is the benefit of not having done any research. You see, you're getting the point now, PD, about how this works?
No.
Neither am I. I just thought I'd say that. Anyway,
we don't research.
Doesn't look like it looks like we're having some technical difficulties on the radio side. I'm going to see if I can fix that. In the meantime, So Jerry, before the Air Force, did you have was comedy always in a plan on you, or did it happen by accident? I'm finding a lot of comedians that I'm talking to, it kind of got into it unexpectedly, because in most like acting or music or something, people plan on it their whole lives and then they move towards it. But I'm finding a lot of comedians who just stumbled into it. Tell me your backstory.
A comedian was the first thing I wanted to be when I grew up. However, I did not plan and work towards that. Or it's kind of more of a realistic type deal, having school, military, and then after military, and not even for a while after military. It was kind of like one of those forgotten things because even where I was, there wasn't much comedy. There wasn't much of comedy scene. So I would listen to comedy all the time and always, want to do it, but never actually, go out to do it.
So did
And
you?
so when I'm
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
when I moved here, there was a comedy club here. So that's like, all right, so let's try it out then. That's basically
You just I'm just gonna go there and ask for stage time. It wasn't like an open mic thing.
It was an open mic. It was an
okay.
open mic.
Right.
The first we went to a show, and so that's how I found out where the club was. And he said, "Yeah, there's open mics every Wednesday." So I said, "Oh, okay. Well, let's go. Let's see." Because it's always one of those. You want to do things your whole life, and then you finally see an avenue to do it, and it's like, all right, let's check it out.
I find a lot of people don't really have any, especially young people today. I talk to a lot of young people about goals and what they want to do with their lives. And what are you passionate about? I don't know, nothing really. I mean, they just like going through life. So it's good to have a goal and have things you want to do. But I kind of disagree that that it's very common now for people to go through their whole life wanting to do something. A lot of people question like, what the fuck am I here for?
Or some people have passions, but they're embarrassed by them or don't think they're possible and don't want people to shit on them before they have a chance to fail at it.
Are you talking about you?
Yeah.
I think a lot of passions get lost in living in real life too. Like if you would have asked me, I would have probably in my younger 20s, I would have probably not even thought about, oh yeah, I do want to be a comedian,
Right.
Life.
Yeah, life does have a way of beating you down and beating your ambitions and dreams out of you, without a doubt. Now, how long did it take before you? Hey, this is a setup question because you're going to tell me you killed the first night, but how long did it take you before you really felt like you belonged on stage in comedy?
Ask Will.
I mean, Jerry was pretty quick. Jerry was pretty quick.
I can sing you my first if you want, like, because it was my first time on stage, but it wasn't my first time writing jokes. Like, it wasn't my first time, I know setup, I know punch. Like, people at work used to look at me weird because I would walk around with headphones in, listening to stand up, and I just laugh out of nowhere, and they didn't know. So I've always been stand-ups. Always has been a thing up here. It's just that was my first time on stage with a microphone.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that you thought you felt like you belonged even before you were on stage. That's on you because most times, even though people think they belong, I mean, really feel it in their gut that in their soul that they belong on stage. That takes a while because the first time is not necessarily a positive reinforcement of the dream.
I'll be honest with you. You could tell with Jerry his very first time. Matter of fact, I've told you before that like I want to do all four of them clubs on Long Island, and I'd like to bring people with me. Jerry is definitely one of the people I'd like to bring with because I feel like Jerry's got it. Like you could be funny, you could be a very very funny comedian and not have it. You know what I mean? It takes that special spark, and Jerry's got that spark for sure.
Yeah. Because when you say not have it, I think just the ability to feel comfortable on
Right.
stage. You know,
he's chill. His chill factor on stage is to the roof, bro.
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah. So much so.
You just slapped. I thought you went through the trap door. Pull the trap door wire, and Willie's gone. You didn't look like you went up. You went down. Which would probably be the way you're going anyway. Is down. Down. What did comedy cost you? And this could go be any of you guys, but Jerry in particular. Does it cost you anything as far as in your life, relationships, a steady life, any of that kind of stuff? Do you feel like it's cost you anything?
Cost me. That's a good one.
What about that? It's early in the morning. Coffee must have kicked in.
Yeah. No. I don't feel like comedy costs me anything. I mean, my lady doesn't. My lady loves that I have something to do. Of course, she doesn't. There's how often I do it and the other things I do, but no, it hasn't really cost me anything actually, because I started doing it like not a couple weeks after I moved to Sioux Falls. So I really that's where I found my people.
Interesting. I could tell you without a doubt, my life in music has cost me lots of relationships. And it's cost me a lot of different careers because I could never really, money-making careers. It's cost me a lot of money because music, I always put music first. So, if there was a job that was paying the bills, I would walk away from a job that paid the bills in order to keep making music. So it's cost me a lot of things, but when I reflect on it, what about you guys? What are you eating, Will?
I'm eating the breakfast that Jerry gave me right before we started.
And
he set this plate with toast and sausage down next to me, and I'm just like, yeah, because I'm not gonna be on
fucking A. That's a good host. A guy who's just gonna.
And he didn't even know I was coming, because I didn't know I was coming to Sioux Falls today. I got involved. I'm gonna be in a karaoke contest tonight, so I had to come to Sioux Falls today. And so I didn't even know I was going to be in town. So I messaged Jerry this morning. And I was like, hey, did you get the link? And then as soon as he started talking back to me, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm probably going to be late getting on the show. I don't know where I'm going to do it from. I got to get on some Wi-Fi. And so he sent me his address so that I could just come here.
So you double Wi-Fi and you still have better connection than you normally do.
yeah, go figure that.
Wow.
That out.
GD, what about you? Has comedy cost you anything?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, we'll move on. I love yes and no answers. Fucking asshole. What a fucking asshole. Yeah. All right. For people who don't know your comedy, and that's about everybody outside of the South Dakota vortex.
Yeah. Or everybody, period.
Yeah.
Outside of the South Dakota touching range.
Well, tell me a bit about like the style of comedy, where you come from, and what do you do?
That's my style is more of a mixture of observational and internal thought process. I find a lot of things funny, and how they come across determines how funny they are to me. It could take a simple phrase that's not funny, depending on what you say before or after that, to make that entire thing funny. So I kind of just take things that I think throughout the day, maybe jot it down, something that happened, something I'm daydreaming about or whatever, and build from there. So I have a hard time explaining my comedy style when I'm asked that. It's like,
yeah. Well, you're not alone. I hate that question, but I often ask it because I'm an asshole. But
bookers want to know that. Bookers want to pigeonhole. They want that on your EPK. They want your EPK, the top of it, to have like 3 to 4 words to describe what you do.
And the audience.
And those of us who don't have that, 4 words to describe what we do kind of get fucked over.
Yeah, elevator pitch. And consumers want it too. I mean, every time I go to a gig, when I'm coming in, oh, you're with the band tonight? What kind of music you play? And I'm like, I hate that fucking question. Why don't you wait until the show's over and then tell me what kind of music I play?
Yeah, right.
Very loud. Very loud and very long.
I'm gonna put entertains the masses for my 3 words.
Hey, that ain't wrong.
Now you sound like a
just find the easiest thing. Like, so
how about long-winded nonsense?
I mean, that's probably fair.
That's 4 words, right? No, it's 1 word, 3 words.
3.
One word
Take
short.
out the spaces. You got 1 word.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I hate being asked that question, but people do want to know it, and so. But now, observational humor, because I've been thinking about that. How do you stick to the idea of setup and punchline in observational humor? That's a difficult thing, right? Because I've been toying with writing some of that stuff, and it's like it's difficult to get to a payoff punchline. There are funny things within your delivery and funny observations, but it doesn't seem to. It's really difficult for me to figure out a way to put it into setup punchline type of format.
Oh man, I have kind of a different kind of problem with that because my observational kind of sometimes stems from something that's making me mad. So it'll go like, for instance, I had a joke about how everything in the men's restroom is wet, and so that, and so to me, it's like I have to put myself in the men's restroom, number one, which is kind of very easy to do. But afterwards is where my joke comes in because I'll come in and say, how does that start? I mean, tired of everything in a men's restroom being wet. I mean, it's effing ridiculous. I mean, the sink's wet, the toilet's wet, the touchless paper towel dispenser is wet, the soap dispenser is wet, getting out of control.
Yeah.
So I use the ladies' room.
But the men's room thing. Well, it doesn't give you any dry place to put your coke out and snort it. So there's that.
Everything's wet. You're just gonna get
right,
place.
Exactly.
That's why you bring your hooker in the men's room with you. Don't you know anything about drugs, Matt?
No, I know you snorted off her ass. Well, this was the whole thing with the whole vaccine thing. People were saying, "Well, are you worried about vaccines?" It's like, dude, I smoked mystery white powder off of fucking hooker's ass in a men's room. Why am I going to be concerned about something a doctor's giving me in a needle? Oh yeah, I'm gonna be afraid of that, dude. I bought shit that was probably from a 13-year-old kid who was selling it on the street, and he certainly hadn't even graduated junior high school yet, and he's giving me shit that I have no idea what it was, and I'm putting that in my body. I'm not gonna be concerned about something.
What's in a Twinkie?
Yeah, no kidding. But this is interesting because it just shows how drastic the difference in perspective can be. Because that same thing you say about snorting coke off of a stripper in a bathroom is the same reason that I feel I probably don't even need the vaccine. Do you think that thing wants to get inside of me?
No, I get it. Yeah,
it's gonna get inside me and be like, "Yeah, this guy's crazy. Maybe we should go somewhere else."
Yeah, that's just the flip side of the same coin. It's just like, I never felt like I needed the vaccine. The reason I got on board with the vaccine was because I needed it to work. You couldn't when that pandemic was like in full force there. You couldn't go into unless you had proof.
Especially in the New York area for sure.
Yeah. So we had to have the little vax card in order to be able to go out and do gigs and stuff. So that's why I got it. But the fear factor, like, I'm not afraid of anything, man. I've been for 50 years. I've been experimenting with shit. I don't know where it came from, who made it. It's all that. So yeah. And do you fall back on any military stuff? Do you still carry that with you, or And first of all, did you serve in any wars like the Afghanistan or Iraq stuff?
I was in Iraq summer 2008. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was there. But no, I don't carry over. That was basically a lifetime ago, a few lifetimes ago.
Yeah. Now I'm sensing a little. Get on the couch. If you lay down back on the couch and let's.
Is that annoying?
Let's talk now. Because I was sensing a little, I don't know, reluctance to go there. Do you carry any Did you experience anything over there that traumatized you that you're holding on to?
No.
No.
Well, he was Air Force.
Air Force. Yeah. So you're flying over, so you don't really see it and feel it, right? Is that?
I have an experience that altered. Well, it helped me think about things in life different. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't call that traumatic.
Yeah.
Acid trip. Acid trip. Mushrooms.
You could say that. But don't say that.
I did say that. I did say that. I was just wondering if it's true.
Now, have you ever tried a weed suppository?
You're throwing stuff out from yesterday now. That's not fair.
Oh, that was yesterday?
That was yesterday.
I don't know. It felt like it was last night or this morning or something. Anyway.
Well, if you were to do a weed suppository.
He just wants people to talk about shoving things up their ass.
You know what? Maybe there's something to that. Maybe I am carrying around a little trauma that I need to unload.
Were you in the Air Force?
No, I was in the Ash Force.
I was going to say, I think that's more of a National Guard problem.
What about now? The dreadlocks or whatever they are, braids, whatever they can make you look kind of like a hippie guy who likes it.
A hippie guy. Did you put me in a box because of my hairstyle?
Yes, I did.
That's a shame because we got the same glasses style, so I'm mad you didn't put us in the same box. Like,
we could be in the same box, but you don't want to be like
too late. You put me in a hippie box.
You don't want to be. Well, I'm a hippie. No, I am a hippie. I just lost all. I
and dreads in a hippie box. Is that what's going on?
Yes, I would be in a hippie box if I could grow my hair, but I am a hippie. I'm an original hippie from the real hippies, so that's not a derogatory thing.
Yeah, matter of fact, he was in a movie in the 70s.
Yes,
with long hair
and a hippie movie for that.
Hippie dippying it along.
Cheech and Chong.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Yeah. Yes, Debbie.
No, it was Car Wash. He was in Car Wash with Richard.
I was in the Car Wash.
Oh no way.
Yeah. Big speaking role. Big speaking role.
Yeah.
Hey, look out!
Walking down the sidewalk. You look like you're really angrily walking. By the way.
I was because I think what you and you really don't know from the cut they use, but that was 4 months of doing that same walk every fucking day, trying to get caught on camera. So yeah, by the time 4 months goes by, you're pretty. Come on, put me in a fucking movie. By the way, the hair thing. Yesterday, somebody said, "GD, who's the Rasta guy you've been having on every morning?"
The Rasta guy.
And the funny thing is that the real Jamaicans are offended by my hair, and they call me a Fasta.
A Fasta?
Fake Rasta.
And what does that mean?
Fake Rasta. Like
fake
I'm
Rasta.
not real.
But what does that mean? Fake? Like
you're a fake Rastafarian person.
You don't smoke big blunt, big spliffs.
This is their jargon, not mine. But apparently, and this is something I did not know, the way I talk is the way the rich, uppity Jamaicans are supposed to talk. And so when they hear me speaking, they think that I'm one of the uppity, upper crust, fake, I'm too good to be with you Jamaicans.
Wow.
Well, I think the reason they get upset is because when the people said sit down, GD stood up. And that's what happened.
And I wouldn't have if I've been wearing dry underwear.
Wow.
Well, yeah, it's funny. I mean, I've had people stop me at gas stations, generally people from the West Indies and Jamaica, and they'll hear me talk and they'll say, "Where are you from?"
What? Oh, now they stop you in gas stations.
Yeah, because I don't usually stop when I gas. I just drive by. I usually drive by. I just drive by gas stations. I don't
Drive-by
stop.
gas
Yeah, I don't
stations.
stop. Yeah, because
Interesting.
yeah, I mean,
So
yeah.
where I was going with Jerry when he felt like I insulted him about calling him a hippie guy. I know. Getting high and is that part of your comedy? Any kind of because we know Will. If you associate with Will, you have to be a drug user. You have to be.
Boy, goddamn.
You have to. I mean, how can you listen to him talk if you're not fucking stoned?
All right.
Yeah, weed is my drug of choice, drug of preference. I'll say.
See that?
Coffee being a close second,
Yeah.
alcohol being a
Now, see, we're
third.
brothers. We are brothers. We got the same glasses. We got the same vices. Now, but you got to get out of South Dakota because it's not legal.
I told you I want to bring him to New York.
All right.
Get out of South Dakota because it's not legal.
I'm telling you, bro, he'll kill it. He'll kill it.
All right, we'll work on that. We will definitely work on that. You know what? I gotta. You're absolutely right. I gotta get on because we're talking about me producing some shows here, and not the main clubs that you know about, like the Three Governors and Sticks and Stones, but that one in Queens, in Astoria, Queens, where all that comedy scene is happening. That's a very doable thing for me. So maybe I put a show on there with you guys. How many people? Because lately I'm seeing shows with like 5-6 comedians on.
Well, so this is what I think. I think that if I bring 3 people along and we all do 20 minutes, that'll be a super solid fucking show.
All right. So your basic 20 minutes is just saying hello.
What? So no, that's 80 minutes right there. Because you said if you bring 3 people, I'll do a
set. But then I'll host and bring up everybody else.
I know, but
and I'm not gonna do what some shitty ass hosts do and redo fucking jokes every other fucking comedian, because you're not supposed. In my opinion, you shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? If you're hosting the show, go up, do your set, and then when you go to introduce other comics, just hype up the other comics. Don't tell another 5 minutes of your shit fucking jokes.
Right.
Fucking bring up the other fucking comic.
Are you shooting shots?
Huh?
You shooting shots?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now this comedy room in where is it, in Brookings, South Dakota? Have you been there? And have you seen the room? What's the room like? Do you know?
The room's really nice. It's a nice room set up for comedy because it's like off to the side of a brewery and a restaurant, if you will.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at some pictures of it now. Now they set up tables, right?
Brookings is a college town too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Brookings.
Yeah, it's a college town for sure.
So young people, do you have to kind of tailor your comedy towards a younger set? Then thinking of that?
Nope.
Really?
I can do my same thing in front of college kids or old people.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
This is an interesting setup because people are sitting at a table. It's not the same. Like they're all, the tables are the same way. Like in comedy clubs, basically. Well, here the stage is here, and you'll have long tables and people sitting look this way, but the comedian's that way. You know what I mean? They're facing each other like here and here, but the comedian is that way. So everybody's turned sideways. These are the tables are horizontal in front of the stage, and people are all sitting on one side of the table looking at the stage. That's a much better, because what I get in New York Comedy Club is this, and after a while you start to get a stiff neck from doing this, for an hour and a half or whatever. That's a better way to set it up, but it's a little different in that the feeling of I got a weird stranger sitting next to me and I could feel his arm touching mine in a comedy room is kind of conducive to making the experience more, you're more nervous, more, I don't know, filled with anxiety, and you're going to laugh more when it's that kind of, I'm in a room full of weird strangers.
And everybody else is laughing,
yeah. So have you played this room before?
Mm-hmm. I've done open mics there, I've featured there, I've hosted there. This is my first time headlining there.
Do you get to pick your feature here, or
I did bring my features, and
it's not Willie?
well, I didn't know Will was gonna be in town, but no, my feature is another comedian, Sioux Falls, goes by the name of Kerner.
Wow.
I feel like he's another one of the funny comics here.
He was the one right before me on the roast. Because you said you watched the roast, didn't you?
4-time winner. Here's what it says on the event page. 4-time winner of the Larry Brinkman Award, Sioux Falls funniest comedian, and is a constant crowd favorite. A constant
he
crowd
was also
favorite.
runner-up when we did Last Comic Standing back in April. He was
Very cool.
Runner-up to that.
Now, is that part of a television or is that television show?
No, it wasn't affiliated. No.
No. Interesting. So yeah, now you guys, I tried to get you. Well, you signed up for the Blueprint for Success community stuff. GD, have you signed up for that?
No.
Why not, man? And Jerry, I want to mention this to you, Gary.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Barry Katz has Blueprint for Success in Comedy, and it's free. Now you can pay for extras like one-on-one with him, but the thing is free community stuff, and there's some really gems that get passed around in the conference calls and stuff, but there's a whole lot of resources for people. But I saw a guy a comedian get his movie greenlighted by the head of a studio the other night, and it's like, man, why are people not taking advantage of this? And it's out there, so
I just recommended it to a friend of mine yesterday. Well, I shouldn't say friend because I don't really have any friends, but another comedian. Another comedian who picks up his phone if I calls him.
I love that he's recommending it to people without actually
doing it.
Well, by the way, I do that all the time with non-toxic butt plugs. So, I mean, I've never tried the product.
I've not been sent mine. I thought I was going to get like a...
You thought I was going to send you a non-toxic butt plug? I would send you a toxic butt plug.
Oh,
that's exactly the reaction I wanted to get when I sent you the toxic butt plug.
Dipped in Tabasco sauce.
Right.
Oh, man. That's
yes, that's a fun one. Yeah.
Ow, that hurts just thinking about, bro. Like,
so now,
at least it wasn't ghost pepper. That's love. See, it's just Tabasco.
I had some ghost pepper nuts one time, and it was terrible.
She should kind of. I'm sorry to take this time away from Jerry, but I'm just thinking about Tiffany with the butt plugs. She should kind of work her way out to that THC CBD based dissolvable butt plugs.
Yeah. No, we talked about we should.
Was that actual thing?
We need to get a hold of Tommy and pitch him doing a THC lube.
First time Tommy was on, I ran the commercial for the non-toxic butt plugs on it, and he was just laughing his balls off. But then he came back to said it wouldn't work for him. He's got no butt plug. He's got no butthole. He's got no butthole anymore. He's got a bag.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I found out the hard way by getting him into non-toxic butt plug, and he was laughing. And then he told me the story about how that was part of. They sewed up his butthole, and he's got a bag for the rest of his life. Oh.
So you can't just stick it in the bag.
It up when they did that. They sew it up.
Well, for whatever reason he did, I mean,
I was in prison with a guy with a colostomy bag. I'm pretty sure.
Not everybody who has a colostomy bag gets their butthole sewed up. But whatever was going on with him, his butthole became non-functional.
That's the same guy. That's the same guy.
Colostomy bag, but every sold butthole.
See,
not every colostomy bag has a sold butthole, but every sold butthole has a colostomy bag.
That's
yeah.
That's kind of like
that's very zen.
Yeah, the zen of butthole.
Great observation of there, Jerry.
So you're gonna take a nap before the show tonight? Because I would. I mean,
100%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fall asleep while I drive there.
Are you a young man? It's hard to tell by looking at. But I would guess probably 30. No.
35.
35. So you still have great opportunity in front of you, unlike GD, who's really basically ready for the grave.
Yeah, I'm done. I have about 1 or 2 more years left of filming, and then I'll be be doing.
I mean, is that
this
all in your
comment?
head or what? I mean, because I could have told you I was 26, you would have probably believed me.
Oh,
So,
totally. I definitely would have
so
believed you.
you're only as old as you tell everybody you are.
Yeah, you should totally be lying, Jerry. I agree.
You're only as old as you tell everybody. So if I
at least
told you
say 28. Say 28.
if I told you I was 40, would you believe that?
I'd have to.
No, you wouldn't. You'd say, "Let me see your ID, old man." That ain't fucking true. Anyway, no, I just I have to be the voice of negativity here. Whenever anybody tries to say anything positive, I have to come back with something that just totally shoot them down. Shoot down
what you gonna say about that adorable
this
ass
podcast is
elf you got
how
in
I
the
challenge
background there?
myself.
Well, the wife put that elf back there, the elf on the shelf. I don't know. Is that like gonna curse me or something? Is that like a monkey's paw type of thing where it's bad luck? I don't know why she put that there, but she was determined on having.
She just didn't want to look at it where it was before, so now she doesn't have to look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it.
Is it gonna move around? Is she gonna move it?
No, she put it. She wanted. I don't know. She came in here. She said, "I think it's important for people to see this," and she put it in there.
I hope she moved it. Otherwise, it moved itself because there's only the two of them in their house.
I did the same thing for my background, but you can't really see it because I'm sitting in front of it.
Right.
Is that I feel like that was important.
Nice, nice. Well, anything to distract from the fact that you have Willie in your house. Now, will you be calling exterminators when Willie leaves today?
No.
He doesn't have to call them. They're on standby. He doesn't have to call them.
Hazmat? Will you be calling a hazmat people to clean up after Willie?
I got a secret for when Will's in town. I don't want to put it out there because I don't want people to start using it. If he gets onto it, then it won't work. It's one of those.
Yeah.
But once he catches on, I'll come back and I'll tell you what it was, and then you could just switch it up real quick and use it. It's very it's immaculate, dude. Trust me.
All right, beautiful. Now, where do we send people for you? Do we send them to your Facebook page to find out more? Do you have a website? Where do we send people to let them know?
To the Jerry Irby Fan Club Facebook page.
Oh, Jerry Irby Fan Club.
Yeah, buddy.
Now,
that's where I would go.
Do you have a bean flicker who started your fan club? Willie's president of his fan club is an expert in finger manipulation. Yes.
No, I mean, aren't we? We should all be experts in masturbation, but to answer your question, no.
Well, we should all be so lucky. I mean, I've never even had a fan club. My fan club is non-existent. It's a non-existent fan club.
Yeah. We started ours in like really close to the same time. Like,
what do you mean? The fan club?
Yeah, because like when I told Jerry that I had a fan club, he's like, "Did you steal that from me?" Isn't that what happened? Because
it was basically like right a couple days after I did it. You told me,
right? Yeah,
and I just changed the name because it was just Jerry Irby Comedy, but
right. And see, that's what I did. I took my Conway Comedy page and I gave it to Kelly. I made her the administrator of it, and then we called it Conway's Cool Kids because Kelly's last name is Cool. Yeah.
Administrator.
Man, that's really I did not know that. It's good to know the backstory of that. I thought Kelly did it on her own, but it's good to know that you pushed her into it and forced
it. Like a hostage situation. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say I asked her. I asked her if she wanted to do that.
Yeah, but that's what the mob says too. The mob says we didn't force him to do anything. We just made a suggestion.
I made her an offer she couldn't refuse.
You guys talk among yourself. I have to answer this text. Somebody's asking me if I could do a job on Sunday, a show, and I got to answer.
Okay, Jerry, what inspired your dreads? Jerry, what inspired you to get dreads? Ask you first.
A few different things. One, I always wanted to have long hair, and Like I couldn't have it growing up. My mom always made me cut my hair, and then joining the military, I couldn't have it. And so for a couple years afterwards, I said, "There's nobody stopping me from growing my hair out." So it became that. This is what it became.
So, but you could have grown your hair long and had braids. You could have grown your hair long and had an afro. Well, actually, I don't know or you could have just grown your hair long and just let it be like a shaggy thing. But I'm sure, so why dreads as opposed to any of the other 4 options that Black people have universally?
I'd always liked dreads, and prior to I know it seems like kind of I don't want kind of a hipster thing, but I didn't see dreads all over the place like you do now.
Right.
When I started to grow mine or get mine.
When did you start? When did you lock it?
Wow, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said that stuff about Bobby McFerrin. Now I just pulled up a picture of him. He looks like you if you were 90.
Now, is this a healthy 90 or is this a drug?
No, this
90?
is a 90-90. I mean, no, he definitely he still got the dreads, but he looks a lot older than me. I thought we were the same age, and I thought he looked younger because Black guys tend to age better than white guys. I don't know if you've noticed that, but Black guys don't get old like we do.
Well, once we get past the bullet stage, we do get aged.
Oh yeah, right. That's part of it.
But we have to get past the bullet stage.
That's part of it. Probably I've never really seen too many over 40 anyway because
there's puberty, and then right after puberty, there's armory. I think yes, there's puberty, armory, but after armory, then there's like a normal lifestyle where our diet and your diet, is comparable. We're not eating lead, and so it's
my diet is basically candy.
Yeah, that's my diet. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and diabetes is the disease of choice of the African American community.
With that sweater, I'm gonna guess you got a pocket full of Werther's Originals.
There's no pocket.
I'm thinking striped candy. Like the sticky striped candy your grandma has in the jar.
The strawberry wrap. This shit they give you at the end of your meal at a restaurant.
Yeah, and you pick it up. There's like one glob of candy because it's been sitting in the jar for so long and they all stuck together.
I have no pockets. No pockets at all. No pockets in my pants. No pockets in the sweater. No pockets anywhere. Hey, I'm a pocketless guy.
So Jerry, when did it lock? When did you lock? You didn't finish. When did you lock?
Sometime in 2013, I had my my cousin cut my hair, and then I let it grow out a little bit. And I do believe, oh man, that was a while ago. I don't know. I think I had, yeah. I think my cousin may have started them.
Now, do you trim it? I mean, just for length.
Sometimes I've been, I just started using the crochet hook.
Okay.
To kind of fold and just make them thicker.
Right.
I've been through a lot of processes with it, trying different things. I've tried the interlocking and just I'm on palm rolling now.
Okay.
Now I will say this as the most heterosexual guy in the room. Jerry's the best looking man in the room, without a doubt. I mean, I know Kelly might argue that it's Will, but no, I'm sorry.
Kelly's extremely biased.
Yeah, no. But I really feel bad about even saying you look like Bobby McFerrin, even though Bobby was a good-looking guy when he was young. But oh my God, what a he did not age well.
He's been over there looking at pictures this whole time.
Poor guy. No, I feel bad for him because he must have worried. He must have worried.
Yeah, after that one song. After that one song, it's like he started worrying, but I need another song, and he just worried himself to look like that.
I was thinking about that because I compare music to comedy, and I overdo it. But in music, you will get like people known for a song, and then everybody fucking loves that song until they hate it and never want to hear it again. Don't Worry, Be Happy was like everybody's favorite song for a week, and then everybody hated it for the last 50 years. There are comedians who fall into that too. And redneck guy, the here's your sign guy. I'm sure he's sick of that fucking here's your sign stuff. Is that
just to
something
be
that
clear, redneck guy and here's your sign guy are two different guys. You're talking about Jeff Foxworthy and Bill Engvall.
right? But they're both rednecks. I'm not saying he's not saying he's the guy you might be a redneck. He's a redneck guy. He's one of those like Larry the Cable Guy is a redneck guy. Yeah. Ron White's a bit of a redneck guy
the
too.
tater.
I mean, they were the blue collar. They were the blue collar.
Blue collar because they didn't want to say redneck. Blue collar goes around a redneck.
I mean, okay, all right, fine.
You know where redneck comes from?
Yeah, so West
Virginia, the mine workers. Yeah, that's where redneck comes from.
Where does blue collar come from?
That's a union.
Well, a lot of factory workers they wore blue shirts.
Yeah,
as part of their
uniform.
Uniforms. Yeah, that's where that comes from. So there is a correlation there between blue collar and redneck.
There's also green necks, and those are the people who wear cheap jewelry, and it just turns their neck.
Just turns their neck green.
Yeah,
I don't think black guys can be a redneck.
Well, if you're light skinned enough, you can.
Yeah. All right.
If you're light skinned enough, you can be red all over.
Like a caramel neck, I guess, like a dark caramel.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about like albinos and some of like my mom was like bright damn near white, or as they call her, red bone. So she could my mother used to pass for white in the 50s when she needed to, when she needed a bathroom.
When she needed to.
If she was in the neighborhood and needed a bathroom, she would pass for white.
Right.
She would be with the good people.
Wow. I did not know that. Yeah, we're in Maryland. Is that where you're talking about this?
Yeah, Maryland.
Because up
Baltimore.
here we're not that far south from here, but I'm sure in the 50s.
South is an attitude. It's not a location. Boston was fucking racist as a motherfucker. And
racist is one thing, but having segregated bathrooms is a whole.
Well, yeah, Boston. I mean, ask not Will Chamberlain. Ask my buddy Russell, Bill Russell. He's got some stories to tell. We sit around and drink. We used to. He has some stories to tell. I'm just saying, call him. You can get him on the show, right?
Give me his number. If you're tight with Bill Russell, call him. Get him on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, man. He's keeping this shit to himself, Will. Will is out here getting guests every day.
I try real hard.
Right. And you're sitting on Bill Russell.
Jerry, how many NBA rings do you have?
How many NBA rings do I have?
Ask you first. How many NBA rings do you have?
3.
Three NBA rings?
3.
Yeah.
Bill Russell has at least 3.5 NBA rings. Okay?
Oh, fuck you, man. He's a four-time winner of the Larry Brinkman Award. Come on.
Yeah.
How many Larry Brinkman Awards does Bill Russell have?
6. They were honorary titles.
Bill is killing it in South Dakota. Holy fuck. Who would have thought?
Are we talking about the same Bill Russell? Because that's a pretty common name in the black neighborhood.
Yeah, probably a pretty common name.
That probably is, yeah. Pretty common name.
Anyway, my question on the table is: if you ever think about that, like getting pigeon, because I've been pigeonholed with a song that I wrote that I don't.
You know, it's the neighborhood you go in. Depending on the neighborhood, you're gonna get pigeonholed, whether you want to or not.
Well, you're in a neighborhood with lots of pigeons and lots of holes. But being careful about not writing something that is going to end up being here's your sign thing. Do you think about that, or no? You don't give a fuck. You just go with what's fucking funny, and if that happens, is that a good thing or a bad thing? You don't think about that shit.
No, well, I got too much. I write about too much. There's just so much that I write jokes that I forget that I wrote. You know what I mean? And jokes that I liked, I just forgot that I liked that joke. Yeah, there's too much going on to care about getting pigeonholed to me, and almost on some degree too. Any publicity is good publicity. So
I agree with that.
I have a joke that some people remembered a year later. We have an event called SuperCon here in Sioux Falls that is kind of like a Comic-Con. And I performed during our After Dark burlesque show there, and I was doing a meet and greet.
Killed it, by the way. Killed it.
Thank you. I was doing a meet and greet, and this guy, young dude too, came up to me. Is really excited to meet me. Remember me from last year and recited one of my jokes to me. Is like, yeah, I forgot all about that joke. Thank you. I'm gonna do it tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, I noticed Will was kind of agreeing with you that no, I don't care about that stuff. But he has actually expressed to me that he wanted to get into doing some parody music, but did not want to be, you know, tied into a locked into people thinking and not be able to do serious music because,
Right.
and
But I
that's
think that's a little bit different though. Like comedically I don't worry about, but like I don't want to do something comedically that's going to make people not take me serious as a musician or as a music artist. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm leery of there. You know what
right.
I mean? Because if Rodney Carrington were to put out like a really legit song, but it wasn't like a comedy song, how many people would really give a shit? How much
You mean
play
like
would it
Jamie
really get?
Foxx or Eddie Murphy?
Was Eddie
Right,
Murphy a comedian
right.
first?
Eddie Murphy what? Eddie Murphy was I thought. Well, I believe he was a comedian
Yeah,
first,
and
but
so is
he
Jamie Foxx. Jamie
right,
Foxx is an amazing
and then Eddie
stand-up
Murphy
comic.
decided to like branch out into music. You know,
Party All the Time was a banger though. That should have been.
Eddie
That
was
should still
Ed,
be
Eddie
Billboard
was working the
top.
comedy clubs here when he was 15 years old, and
yeah.
he was a a phenom. I mean, everybody knew about this 15-year-old kid who was killing it in the comedy clubs on Long Island. So, but and I hear he's doing another special.
He is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Ooh,
heard that too.
ooh,
yeah.
nice.
It's called Cooked. Yeah,
I
his
think I
Recently,
first
heard it
one,
from Willie.
his last one was Raw. This one's called Cooked.
That's
Um,
awesome. That's
are you
awesome.
being
I'm
serious or
so
was that a
glad he's
joke?
I
doing
no, I think that's what I'm pretty sure that's. I mean, that's a rumor. I mean, I don't know if any of this shit is true. I'm just saying what I read on Twitter while Willie's talking.
And
Well, I
the
had to read
camera
it for
froze
you.
on Willie, just like the other
Yeah. Oh, Willie's talking. Wait, what's on Twitter?
Oh Jesus, here we go. Okay. God damn.
Last question, and we'll let you go, Jerry, because we do have another guest coming on. I think I could be getting.
I'm probably gonna leave when Jerry leaves, so that
You
I'm not
probably
like
will.
cleaning
You
his
go
house
have
out.
sausages and look at his hair and get hard and whatever you do.
What
Uh,
the fuck?
Everybody assumes.
I know, right?
is it important to have the respect of other comedians, or more important to have the appreciation of everyday people, fans, and comedy fans? That
Ooh,
goes out to all you guys.
as far as what though, like professionally, as far as
As far as for your own feeling of I belong here. I belong to be a headliner. I belong to I deserve the stage time I get. I belong as a comedian. Is it more important to have your peers recognize that yes you do, or the audience, the the, the fan?
professionally the audience, but personally my peers. To me
Right,
personally, I because
right.
I can't. It can't be one of those. Oh, you're so good. I don't see why you're so suck. Or I would also hate. I don't know why people laugh at you. You are not good.
Uh,
It's like, but for my friends, I because a comedian's gonna hear a joke differently than an audience member will. They're
Absolutely.
gonna figure out what's true in that, the root of that, and what's funny about it,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I,
what comes from that is really.
I think GD would say he doesn't care what anybody thinks. Comedian fans, nobody. He was there to
Right.
make himself laugh.
I mean, at the end of
Yeah.
the day, yeah, for sure, but it's different when you got a group of peers.
Right.
Some of us are.
I struggle with insecurity with that for 45 years now. Even though I know I make more, I've done more, I've had more success than some musicians that show up. I know they're better than me. In the back of my mind, there's nothing I could do to impress them, and that fucking kills me. And it affects my performance because sometimes I'm worried about, oh, look who's here. He sees right through me. He's so much better than me. He sees right through me while I'm on stage. But then I realize he paid to get in to see me, and he ain't playing me. But I struggle with. I mean, whatever that thing is that just the total imposter syndrome idea. When good musicians are in the room, it fucks with my head hard, and I have to overcome that, and it's been a struggle to overcome that for 45 years of doing it, but I still do it. I prefer when they're not there.
Two of my closest friends, real friends, not imaginary friends, two of my real friends, not from Canada. We used to play in the band together, and I was the least talented member of the band. And whenever we get together, I know that I'm the least talented member of the band. I'm like the worst musician. They're like classically trained. One of them has a Grammy, the other one, and I know it. And we all know it. They don't, it's like when you go to dinner and one person has got enough money to pay for everybody, they can pick up the tab at any time, but you throw in the tip because you don't have much money. I'm the tip. I was the tip of the band. Yeah.
There are now that's a premise that needs to be worked on, Mr. Tip.
I do want to say real quick in regards to this kind of thing. Jerry is actually one of the like cornerstone people for me when I'm struggling, when I'm having that imposter syndrome or whatever. Like Jerry's always right there for me to be like, excuse me, dude, this is the best thing. I don't even know if you know this, dude. This echoes in my mind in hard moments. But there was one time I was really dejected. I think it was shortly after the competition we had back in April. And he said to me, he says, excuse me, but aren't you William motherfucking Conway? And that is stuck with me like you wouldn't believe, brother.
So
like
basically what you're saying is he takes pity on the untalented. It's nice.
Or he sounds like a cop who just pulled you over. Excuse me, aren't you really motherfucking Conway?
That's a heartwarming story.
That is how the local cops where I grew up referred to me.
Bouquet bandit. How do
you know that?
Are you the bouquet bandit? The flower fountain?
Are you Carnation Conway? What? Are you the Rose Wrangler?
Well, thank you for tuning into this Hallmark moment. We appreciate it. We'll go to Jerry Irby's fan club on Facebook. I'll put the link in the description. And thanks for getting up and being part of the show. I'll knock 'em dead this weekend, man. And
thanks for having me.
Have a great show. Yeah, anytime. And Will's right. I'm gonna try and put a show together with you guys here, at least in Queens.
I may be able to get a ticket to come in to see you.
Yeah, well, you'll pay double.
Anyway.
Have a great day, guys, and bye for now. Will, I'm putting you out too. Out the pasture. All right, see you guys. Bye for now. You want to do
critical joke theory?
Critical joke theory with new improved new improved what? New improved
a new joke technology.
This is gonna fuck me up. Okay. Now
I can just whenever you say the word, I can pop it in.
It in.
Hello, welcome to Critical Joke Theory with your host, G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist. Now with new joke technology. Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist at large, but I'm losing weight. Welcome to Critical Joke Theory, episode 32. Now with new joke technology. Henry Kissinger, diplomat who helped to reshape the world, dies at 100. Okay, reshape was the word Politico used. Rolling Stone wrote, Henry Kissinger, war criminal beloved by America's ruling class, finally dies. Although he won a Nobel Peace Prize in 1973, his critics credit him with the deaths of 3 to 4 million people between 1969 and 1976, or what today's authoritarians call a good start. Speaking of authoritarians, Donald Trump. In a shock for Europe, anti-Islam populist Geert Wilders, seen here with his hair mocking the combs that used to tease it, records a massive win in Dutch elections. A populist is defined as a believer in the rights, wisdom, or virtues of the common people. The common people used to mean all of us. Now it means all the people with the same color skin in common. Speaking of races, Donald Trump. Scientists in South Africa have discovered 11 De Winton's golden moles, which haven't been seen since 1936. The rodents were thought to be extinct. They were found by a collie named Jessie. A spokesperson for Jessie, who is specially trained to sniff out the moles, wants the moles renamed after her, since she found the moles that scientists thought were lost forever. Jessie wants them to be called snacks. Since the rodents had not been seen since 1936, Jessie was trained using the closest known living species to the golden mole, the golden rat. Speaking of golden rats, the gag order on Donald Trump was reinstated by the New York Appeals Court in the New York fraud civil case. The gag order was reinstated in case Trump needed help to be civil. Trump went on Fox News, Fox Business, OAN, and 6 other conservative outlets to let everyone know that he is being silenced. The Senate Judiciary Committee has authorized subpoenas for Harlan Crow and Leonard Leo in the Supreme Court ethics probe. Leo and Crow plan to take this fight all the way to the Supreme Court. After all, owning your own Supreme Court has a certain appeal. Speaking of appeal, Taylor Swift. Signs of a mysterious respiratory illness affecting dogs reported in at least a dozen states. The disease seems to have started with sexual contact from this bitch, pictured here. And finally, this last story is for your eyes only. Public health officials in Michigan are investigating 5 rare cases of eye syphilis in women who had sex with the same man. In a rare disease cluster last year, Michigan public health officials found ocular syphilis cases in 5 white women. I'm not saying shit. Aged 40 to 60. Okay, I know I said I wouldn't say anything, but if the first woman had been black, she would have told everybody, and there would not have been 4 more cases. The only public information available about the male sex partner is that he's been treated and that he's had sex with 12 other women in the past 12 months. White women have also been treated, and as of today, there appears to be no more cases of ocular syphilis in Michigan.
Oh.
I do not know the identities of the 5 women who were infected or the whore of a man who infected them, but ladies, if you want to send his picture, I will put it right here. Also, I have so many questions about what you have to do to get syphilis in your eyes. A whole lot of questions.
Oh.
I'm G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist, now with New Joke Technology. Thank you for watching Critical Joke Theory. Be safe out there and don't feed the crazies.
Oh, we don't have an outro music in that?
Critical Joke Theory with your host, G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist. Now with New Joke Technology.
I like that. Oh my God. That's all right. Now we can remove it. There you go. Wow. Yeah. I really I like it better without the green screen. That looks so much better with you just doing it that way.
Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, very good stuff.
Yeah. As soon as my budget goes up, I'm going to get rid of the green screen for my Done Way Past Funny, and I'll get a banner for that also.
There you go. There you go. And then
yes.
we're upgrading and so have you plugged in your YouTube channels into the back end or no?
Not yet. I'm gonna do that. I spent most of my time yesterday. Not yesterday. I spent a great deal of time yesterday trying to do other shit for. I have I have husbandry duties.
I got it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. See, you fell into the Willie trap there. You started to tell me about, when you were 4 years old and you stubbed your toe.
Well,
Twitter.
I was going to tell you I was going to tell you something different, and I thought people don't need to hear that. So I was trying to find a good transition.
That's what Willie needs to. What you just said there. I thought people don't need to hear that. That's what we need to give to Willie for Christmas. Yeah, what occurs to me, one of the best ways to travel for free is to not show up on podcasts that you book.
See, and I had questions to ask. See, I had questions. The thing is, I didn't have time to research.
See, the truth is, I don't even really book guests. I just put that shit out there so that I know I can make you jump through hoops trying to figure
that's
out.
the shit. I was so busy with because critical joke theory. I didn't write it until yesterday. I wrote it yesterday afternoon and then recorded it in one take, and then edited last night. I finished around like 12 o'clock this morning, so I didn't have time to research anything.
That's good.
So, but I did read.
You call him a butt? I can't believe you called me a butt.
I did read the 19-page description in the.
Cut and paste that from her bio or whatever that she sent me.
Now, I did read that, and so I had a question because my question is because it was talking about people not wanting to travel because of money, and no, that's not it for me. My thing is I don't know the hostage rate. If I get taken as a hostage, I don't know if my wife could afford to get me back. So I would only want to go to places where my wife could afford to get me back if I'm taking hostage.
All right. So basically, anyways, that Greyhound bus.
Yeah. I don't go through.
That's Willie's travel plans.
I don't go through many southern states. Actually, technically, I use my car. I drive because I like to be in control of my travels, so I drive.
Now,
up to 20 hours. Up to 20 hours.
It just occurred to me that, and this would be really fucked up for somebody who is a travel expert. It could be a time zone issue with why she's not here. And if that's the case, I mean, how do you travel without understanding the time zones? You can't be a world traveler without know Eastern from Pacific and whatever. I think she's in LA. And it just occurred to me that this could be another case of time zone confusion. It's understandable if you're a love languages guy living in Colorado and placating women, and with your love languages BS. But for somebody who travels the world, you got to understand the 24 time zones, right? Or no?
Yeah. Well, isn't it 25 time zones in leap year? I get mixed.
I don't know about that. I really don't know how many there are. That's why I was guessing 24.
Yeah.
Every 1,000 miles, I think. No?
Well, it's 24 except for leap year. And it's not 1,000 miles because when you get to the poles, it's like 12 inches, because they go like this. Right?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Now you're sounding like a flat earth guy. Flat earth guys will be quick to point out, no, this is so fucking weird, because they understand there's a North Pole,
right?
But they don't understand there's a South Pole. So they say if you're standing on the North Pole, any step you take in any direction is you're going south,
right?
And that's true. That's
absolutely
true. That's where they start their argument. After that, it falls apart, because I think you were on when we talked to the guy in New Zealand, Dick. Who you like?
Yes,
I
like Dick.
He said there are no flat earthers in the southern hemisphere creates a huge problem for the whole flat earth society. So they like to pretend it's not there.
Yeah.
But the idea that how could it, if it's earth is flat, and here we are talking flat earth stuff. If the earth is flat, no matter where the sun is in the sky, it still should be light.
Yes.
Right. You should still see the sun.
Unless the Earth is a coin. If the Earth is a coin that is flat on top and flat on the bottom, and then every day somebody has to toss the coin to get sunlight.
Flip it over.
Yeah, to do that, God has to go like, okay, yeah.
It takes an awfully big thumb to do the flipping.
Well, it's probably a group of gods, a bunch of gods together, which is why they have Thor and Zeus. Yeah, right. Come on, Atlas, pull your weight.
Right. Well, I can't say I'm really, the travel stuff I was doing it for. I don't know who booked this thing. I think it was her assistant. I'm gonna have to write back to her and write her an angry email.
Now, is their assistant a friend of yours, like the other person's assistant was?
No, Lindsay. Not. I wouldn't say it's not like we've had a friendly relationship before I started doing the shows and stuff. But she's been a steady supplier of interesting guests, and so I appreciate her. See, screw ups happen. No, this was somebody I never talked to before who booked this lady on today. It was early last week that she wrote to me, and picked a date and then didn't show up. It's it's epidemic. It's a pandemic of no show. No show is a pandemic.
I had a whole month of no shows on Done Way Past Funny, and for different reasons. One was a couple that actually the husband broke an ankle, and I wanted the two of them on together because they work as a team, and I wanted to interview them both. And he was like on drug pills, because of the pain from his broken ankle.
Now, last night, I know you follow politics. I'm going to run into politics. Last night, for people who jerk off to politics, there was a debate among two governors from different states.
DeSantis and California.
It's the most
Newsom.
The most pointless debate because neither one of them is going to be a presidential candidate or on the top of their ticket, the nominee. So what is the point of that debate? Can you enlighten me?
The best thing I can figure is that DeSantis is looking. There's this thing in the GOP where they want to create their own reality and they don't want to address the reality that really is out there. DeSantis's nemesis should be Donald Trump because that's the job he wants. He wants Donald Trump's job, but he doesn't want to take him on directly. So he shoots across the bow at other politicians that have no things. Just like at one point, Donald Trump, I think, offered to debate Elie Mystal, which has nothing to do with anything. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they don't want to address the real issues. They just want the next shiny object.
But they do have, I think, in the back of their mind, the reality that Trump might not be on the ballot by several states. I think that's starting to sink in, and they are looking at it like who's going to be the alternative. But clearly, it's not going to be DeSantis. I think so.
Republican Inc. For the sake of listeners who don't know a damn thing about the way I think or care about the way I think, but I'm telling you anyway. When I say Republicans in general, they're like Republican Incorporated. They're the money guys.
RNC. The RNC.
The Republican Incorporated, and they're the ones that make the money decisions. And then there's the Republican voter, which I don't generally discuss because that's totally different. They're not decision makers.
Right.
So when I say Republicans, I'm referring to Republican Incorporated, RNC, DNC, those people, the money people. And Republican Incorporated, they like Haley, Nikki Haley, right now, which I figured they would like anyway because she was like the least of the crazies, the least crazy of the crazies.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking
money likes stability. Money likes stability. Money don't like crazy.
Hear me out here. I think Trump, the only reason Trump was naming Ben Carson as his top candidate for the VP pick is because he wants to appeal to black voters. I think and steal some of that because traditionally, and I know there is a small bastion. I said bastion, not of black voters who support Trump, which doesn't make sense. But I think he wants more. He wants to totally take and he sees RFQ as stealing a lot of those away too. So I think that was an attempt to sway black voters. I think Nikki Haley, in the minds of the Republic, the RNC, is an attempt to appeal to women because they know that the reason they lost the last 2 elections is the abortion thing, and so let's appeal to women. To have
Yeah,
a first woman
but
president.
Nikki Haley's policy on abortion is no different than the rest of the established Republican
No,
Party.
but she's a
She just
woman.
sounds, but she sounds more sane talking about it.
Right, but also that she's a woman, and for some women, the idea of having a first woman president might trump their concerns about trump their concerns about the abortion issue. I think that's what they're thinking anyway.
But they're still not women. But that's the other thing. If they wanted a woman president, they actually had a perfectly good qualified one in Hillary Clinton when they chose to vote for Donald Trump. So that's.
I think that situation, you took the 2 most unlikable people, undesirable people, and
unlikable, but she was qualified. She was much more qualified than Donald Trump.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and so it wasn't a matter. Yeah, but she was unlikable because of what 20 some odd years of the RNC demonizing her and her husband Bill.
Right.
It's like a police officer. If a police officer followed me down the road from my house to the supermarket, they're going to find a violation somewhere, and they could stop me at any time. They're like, okay, you did a roll instead of you didn't come to a complete stop. You just rolled through. So and just imagine that for 20 years, having someone going through your life for 20 years, they're going to find something that they're going to hate you for something.
But qualifications considered, and all things considered, I don't think anybody on the right would vote for Hillary Clinton with a gun to their head. I don't care if it's Donald Trump or a retarded chimpanzee. They're going to say, I'm voting against Hillary. I mean,
right. Yeah, that's true.
Hated.
And that's the funny thing is, and this is the one thing I detest about parties and party thinking. When people were asked about Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, they go like, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. But when people, including Republicans, were gone item line by item line, do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like that? 80-something% of the Republicans actually approved of what Obamacare was. When they didn't call it Obamacare, they just showed them what was in it.
Romney Care, they call it.
Yeah, it was Romney Care. That's what I'm saying. It was Romney Care.
But when they did that poll, they proposed it as even though they were showing Obamacare, which was different than Romney Care. They were calling it Romney Care to make it seem like, oh yeah, we can agree with that because Romney's a Republican, and yeah. So with that, you can trick them into thinking that you're for this only by saying it wears a blue jersey instead of a green jersey.
Exactly. And that's the same thing with with Biden's bill, his infrastructure bill. When they call it Bidenomics, they're like fuck it. But you say, okay, but look at all the infrastructure that's being built. Look at this that's being done. This is being done. They go like, oh yeah, I like this. Well, that's Bidenomics. Fuck it, I hate it. So, and that's why I hate party affiliation, because people are just so fucking stupid that they just vote for the jersey color and not for what's in their best interest.
Yeah. There was an article in the Atlantic, and I know the Atlantic is very skewed left, but the article is basically saying people complaining about inflation, but it's their fault that inflation they keep buying expensive things.
Yes.
They're spending them.
Yes.
We're feeding inflation and complaining about it at the same time, and the perception is, well, this is all Biden's fault. No, it's our fault. It's my fault.
Thank you. I have been saying that for fucking years. We control those things. I was talking to my niece on the phone, and she was complaining about high prices. I said, you realize, I said, half the things you just mentioned that you're buying, you don't have to buy.
Right.
As I said, half the stuff you buy, you're talking about snack food. You're buying snack foods. You don't have to buy those snack foods. She's why I have kids. I said, they're kids. They'll eat what the fuck you put on their plate. They're kids. And they don't have to have like 9 different flavors of ice cream. Get them 2 instead of 7. They don't have to have the other 7. People don't have to have the new fucking iPhone just because it's out there. Make them wait. Don't buy it. And the price will come down to like 30 cents. Okay, actually it'll come down to like what? Maybe $400 instead of $1,400. Make them wait. The prices will come down. We are in control, but we don't act like it because
we have no control.
Yeah, no self-control. We have no self-control, and therefore we give up our control. Yeah, but yeah. And
well, you're right. This is a long bio. I just it's at the corner of my eye here. This bio I had for the guest that was. It's like a fucking book.
I took one look at that and I said, I'm gonna take a shit while I read this.
Well, I wasn't gonna read the whole thing to introduce her.
I didn't think you would. I think you'd go like the first 20 words and go like, well, Morgan, I have you here. Why don't you tell the people?
Right. Now, let me see who that Govs tonight, because we have to say goodbye to Govs really quick. But Governor's Comedy Club's home. Let's see who's there tonight. I don't think I know the people who are. December 1st tonight is Stars of Tomorrow at the Giggle Room in Levittown. Doesn't say who's in the main room. Oh yeah, Anthony Pitts. You know Anthony Pitts?
No.
Neither do I. With a Z, P-I-T-Z.
Pitts. That's the name of that black guy. I could not think of. Derek Pitts. He's the astronomer, the other black scientist than Neil deGrasse Tyson. Derek Pitts.
Now it's DeGrasse. I always say Degrassi. Am I wrong with that? It's DeGrasse Tyson.
I say DeGrasse Tyson. He's never corrected me.
Okay. He never corrected you.
He's never corrected me.
That's it. That's who's in Levittown. Let's see who's in Bohemia. Kevin Dombrowski doing the weekend there. I don't know Kevin. Do you know Kevin? Have you heard of him? No. Nope. I wouldn't expect you to. You don't know anybody. Let's see Belmore at the brokerage. Justin Silver. I think I know him.
Nope.
I've seen him on I guess YouTube or something. I've seen him around. So he's at the brokerage doing the weekend. That's who's at Govs. Thanks, Govs. Have a great weekend. Knock 'em dead, as they say. Knock 'em dead comes up next on Governor's Comedy Network with your host, Tony Walker.